Join Rainier Avenue Radio, your home team for Metro League football, basketball, baseball, girls soccer, track and field, bowling, and even more than that. We got you. Watch Metro League High School sports on Rainier Avenue Radio via Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. You can listen in right on our website, RainierAvenueRadio.world, or download our app for free to listen and watch. Metro League High School Sports 2021 on RainierAvenueRadio.world, powered by the Urban League of Metropolitan Seattle, King County for Culture, and the Seattle Mariners.
Rainier Avenue Radio.world is your 24/7 digital media hub. Tune in at Rainier Avenue Radio.world. Also find us on Facebook, Twitter, and TuneIn apps.
Well, good evening for another edition of Monday Night Sports. Hey, there we go. All right. I'm Dupe, and I hope you guys are doing well this evening. That is Edwin Bailey's phone, and that is Edwin Bailey. And we are here. You got to unmute, big fella. What's up? What's up? Anyway, welcome to Monday Night Sports. We got a lot to talk about, big man.
I'm ready.
Okay, so we're gonna in just a couple of minutes, I want to highlight we got a lot of stuff going on with Metro League football this coming weekend, Friday night doubleheader. We'll talk about that and our player of the week. And you got your belly bumper of the week?
I'm going with teams now.
Okay. So we'll get to that. But a couple things I want to talk about first. Number one, I think people are familiar with a few weeks ago the law, House Bill 531, the bill that was passed restricting voting access in Georgia. And as a result, we're getting a lot of pushback, obviously, and major sponsors, are pulling out and what have you. And it was music to my ears when I saw this weekend Major League Baseball say, "Hey, we ain't playing the All-Star game there."
No, sir.
We're not playing the All-Star game there, and I think that's really relevant because there's a really interesting article. I'm going to read a little bit, from it, but the headline says Major League Baseball's decision to move the All-Star game out of Georgia was a grand slam because historically the league really hasn't, they haven't done things right when it comes to racial discrimination. But, this was a really, really good movement. Basically what they said is, and I saw, Rob Manfredi, he said, look, this is something that we have to take a stand on. And I think it's really important. Given Major League's, baseball's history, it really is, I think, a pleasant surprise that they took the stand they've taken. And,
Rick, excuse me for cutting you off.
Yeah.
But with the stand that they just took,
okay.
I ain't thinking about Jackie Robinson no more now. Because you're showing me that you're true blue. There's a lot of billionaires in this country right now. Based on baseball.
Hello.
So now some people have problems with it. Most of my young life, baseball was saying that they were sorry. Hey, we apologize. Hey, we're sorry. I lived through Hank Aaron, Willie Mays, Willie McCovey, all of those guys.
Yeah.
And baseball has gotten it right.
And like I said, man, I was not only was I pleasantly surprised, but I was just like, man, it warmed my heart because, at some point you've got to take a stand. And I want to read just a little bit about this bill. People I think are aware of it, but I just want to share some, of what this bill does, because at the end of the day, we're a democracy. And isn't it about opening up and voting is a right that we all have. And isn't it about making that easier so that everybody has access?
Are we complaining about the same things that our grandparents complained about?
Edwin, I'm gonna repeat something you say all the time. You said your grandfather was born in the 1800s, right?
Yeah, 1889.
And your dad was born, what, 1914?
1914.
19%. I remember. And here's what you always say. You said talking to them if they were alive today, but even when they were alive, they would say, "Ain't nothing changed. Ain't nothing changed." And that's a sad testament. And it's interesting as we're going through the Derek Chauvin trial in Minneapolis, the police officer that had his knee on George Floyd's neck. And what people were saying is, okay, and man, today unprecedented. The police chief, a black man, the Minneapolis police chief, got him and said, "Hey, man, no, this was excessive. This was not right. This is not what we train and what have you." So you're seeing, police for one of the first times ever where they're just saying, "Wait a minute, publicly, it's not this. Oh, we're gonna take care of everybody." But the big thing is this just a one and done type of incident, or is this going to lead to serious and radical systemic change? Because as you and I have talked about so much of Edwin, this stuff, it keeps happening.
Hey Rick, they showed some young men down in Georgia with rifles and automatic weapons, and they've taken to the street. They said, "Well, if ain't nobody gonna protect us, we got to protect ourselves."
Hey,
so in other words, we are on the cusp of anarchy. Civil unrest. Yeah.
And at some point, and there's this line, this divide, and when do we stop being able to say, "You know what? I respect you and I respect your opinion, even if your opinion isn't what mine is.
Right.
I respect you, and it's okay for you to have a different belief, a different opinion than I have. That's okay. That doesn't make us enemies."
But Rick, as we was brought up, that's the American way.
Hello,
That's why we were supposed to be different from Russia.
Yeah.
Different from China. Different from East Germany.
Yeah.
And see what they're doing is they're pulling all of my quality education that my mother and father paid for out. We're supposed to be different. That's why we can have two different sides of the table and still get along and still give you our best.
Yeah.
But you mean to come to tell me now, since 1959 when I came in this world, that all of that was bull? All that was just talk?
When it comes right down to it. And there's this fear of losing something, but whatever it is, it's like, if your opinion's different, from mine, I can't let you have anything. And there's an interesting article. A Canadian journalist wrote this. I remember reading this column, and it was 2 years into the Obama first term presidency, and he said, if you look at American politics, and you've got the bipartisan or the partisan factions, what have you, but usually what would happen is once the president is elected, whether Democrat or Republican, the country comes together, says, "Our president, let's work together." Now we know that has not been the case, but for the most part. But when Obama was in, you had people like Mitch McConnell saying, "We're going to make sure he's a one-term president." It's like, wait a minute, why don't we work together? Where's the common ground? And I bring all this up, Edwin, because this is significant and it impacts sports, and athletes have a voice. Right. Entertainers have a voice. People look up to them. And the fact that Major League Baseball now said, "Hey, wait a minute. No, that is wrong." And I'm going to go down just a couple high points, or highlights, I should say, of this bill that I want people to be aware of. But Major League Baseball said, "No, that's not right." And that is I won't say an unprecedented, but a nearly unprecedented move by Major League Baseball, because they have not taken a stance. And all these people, when George Floyd was murdered, all these different leagues, and you saw businesses and everybody, releasing a statement or what have you. Major League Baseball didn't. A statement's only as good as what are you going to do to back it up.
Right.
But again, Major League Baseball, stood up and said, "Wait a minute, no, this is not right." And we, as a result, we're going to move the All-Star game out. Now, I'm really disappointed that the PGA Golf Tour. Now, I get it. You got the Augusta. You got the Masters. Augusta. They're not going to move that. But they decided not to move their season-ending event out of Georgia. And I got an issue with that. I want to read a little bit, and then I'm going to go into the bill real quickly, and then we get to our Player of the Week and the Belly Bumper Award. But PGA Tour says it will not move the season-ending Tour Championship out of Georgia following the state's new controversial voting law. In a statement issued Saturday, the Tour confirmed it will still hold the Tour Championship not until September 2nd through the 5th at East Lake Golf Club, which is in Georgia, and basically. They said that at the heart of the PGA Tour's charitable mission is a commitment to serving and supporting communities where we play. In Georgia, this commitment has resulted in more than $38 million generated for local charitable organizations, and their season-ending event, moved to Atlanta in 1998, and they don't want to do. Well, here's the bottom line, Edwin. Okay, yeah, that's all well and good, but you can still make sure those charities get that money. Okay, mm-hmm. I don't care. You can move that event out. You can make a statement, and they're just not. So I'm disappointed in that, but very pleased that Major League Baseball. LeBron James had a tweet, and he said, "Proud to call myself part of the Major League Baseball family today." He's a part owner, and so he was, and Magic Johnson as well, part owner of the Dodgers, and so they were like, "Hey, proud to call ourselves, owners." LeBron, I guess, recently became part owner of the Boston Red Sox.
yeah. He's a minority owner. But I've always been, I picked Irvin Johnson up our senior year in high school. Mm-hmm. We both made an All-American team together. Uh-huh. And I've always been impressed with him. Then had chance to rub elbows down in celebrities in the underground here and see when they come to Seattle. Just an incredible guy. But Rick, Major League Baseball is showing them that they're saying thank you to the amount of money that was made when they embraced the Negro Leagues.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
When embracing the Negro League, they doubled down. Mm-hmm. The Willie Mazes, the Hank Aaron's, the Jackie Robinsons, mm-hmm. the Roberto Clementes,
number 21.
My dad wanted my brother and I to play baseball. Mm-hmm. But y'all want to play that crazy game out there rolling around on the ground.
But far fewer injuries, man, in baseball. Come on, but hey.
I'm scared. I'm still scared of that baseball to this day.
Edwin, come on. Isn't that crazy? Both you and me both. That little white ball, man, that thing coming at me. I'm like, no, I ain't standing in that play.
Hey, put a Popeye knot on your head. But Rick, hey man, I am so proud of baseball that I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
I am so. I mean, and baseball is huge now.
Yeah.
Single A, double A, triple A.
Yeah.
Japanese league.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But that's a big statement, man. That's a big statement. If you just joined us, you're listening to Monday Night Sports. I'm Dupe. He's Edwin Bailey. And real quickly, some of the points I wanted to bring out, Edwin, House Bill 531. So again, Georgia, the Republican lawmakers pushed through this legislation, and it's called House Bill 531. It moved through House by a vote of 97 to 72. And some of the things that it puts into place. If you're looking for an absentee ballot, you may need to have photo ID because of this bill. So when you're applying for ballot, you need to send a copy of your photo ID along with your application for an absentee ballot. Another proposal in there is restricting where absentee ballot drop boxes will be located and when people could drop them off. This is very, very relevant because number one, they can select where these drop-off boxes are, and they're not in the community, where our people are. And the time, now listen to this, the time when they can drop them off. Now, the South, and the Bible Belt and what have you, church going, well, black church. Mm-hmm. Okay, you and I know you going to church and you're gonna be in there for a few hours. And so historically, with the either mail-in or ballot boxes in Georgia in particular, a lot of the black voters are going before church. Well, now they're not opening the polls until later or allowing it till later. So that's impacting it. Right. I mean, it's like, come on. What else? Yeah.
The voting process been dirty for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah, you can vote. You can vote, but you got to be able to read this paragraph right here.
Hello.
Well, wait a minute now. How can I read the paragraph when it was against the law for me to learn how to read?
Hello. Exactly.
And the only place that they was implementing that was in the rural South. And I love the rural South, despite all its negativeness.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But when the first time I heard that, I said, well, that didn't make sense.
Hello. Here's another one with this bill, Edwin. You can't, if somebody's in line, it is now misdemeanor to take them water or food.
Wow.
Okay, so you know how this last election lines. I mean, people were in line, and they stayed in those lines for hours because they said, "No, I got a right to vote. And if I got to sit in this line for 4, 5, 6 hours, now it's illegal. It's against the law for you to bring somebody in line food or water. Come on,
that's absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
That's absolutely amazing.
Yeah. I mean,
they want to tell you, oh, well, we playing fair. No, you're not.
Exactly.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
No.
Well,
and then, well, if you can't read this, you can't go in. Well, hell, I just got the right to vote last year.
Really?
Before that, I couldn't even be. If I got caught with a book, I got hung.
Right. You know, you wouldn't let me go to your school, so I started my own schools. Okay. The HBCUs.
And then I've had people ask me, say, well, why do you all call it a black college? I said, because not long before they were established, we weren't allowed to go to school.
That's right.
You know, so they didn't want to make sure that you didn't differentiate, that you differentiated between the University of South Carolina and South Carolina State.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what's the difference? One's a predominantly white school, and one's a predominantly black school.
Black school. There it is.
So, I mean, again, Rick, it's a lot. Hey, they're beating them bushes now. Yeah. You know, when you beat them bushes, everything come out of it. You ain't no rabbits was in them bushes.
They coming out, yeah. Okay.
Coming out.
Yeah. All right, we're short on time. So a couple other things. But thank you, man. Great input and great comments. And just want people to be aware of that. Now, real quickly, Edwin, I want to play. I don't know if you were aware of this. So I want to say congratulations to Adia Barnes, coach at Arizona. A lot of people here, big Adia Barnes fans, played for the Seattle Storm, was on that first championship team back in 2004. So Adia, head coach, went back to her alma mater. For the first time in school history, took them to the Final Four and then to the, or at least, I think it was the first time in the Final Four, but I know it was the first time in the championship game. Unfortunately, lost by a point. I want to play some of the highlights and actually, Daniel, if you can go to the end of the highlights, when you get there, just go ahead and start playing it, and we'll show it on the screen. So they had about 6 seconds left, and they were down by 1 point and just couldn't, unfortunately, get the ball to drop. But Adia, when they beat UConn on on Friday. Excuse me. And when they beat UConn, that Daniel, on that highlight package, the link I sent you, I think it's at about almost 8 minutes, the last play of the game. Anyway, so here we go. So, where are we at here? Oh, well, we'll let it play, and then we'll get down to the end in a minute. Anyway, so Adia Barnes, when they beat Connecticut in a private moment, we're going to play this clip in a minute, but I want to finish seeing this out. In a private moment, in a huddle with their team, and that young lady right there, Ari McDonald, oh, she can play.
She get it in.
Oh, man, she's tough. She's tough, 5'6", and tough as nails. Anyway, so Adia's in the huddle. They beat Connecticut. I mean, UConn, favored. I mean, you know the history of UConn and Gino, or what have you. Anyway, she's in the huddle with her team and basically, has a few choice words. And you know how it is here. This is the final play of the game. Let it go full screen, if you will. No sound.
That is it! Stanford survives again!
Hey, Daniel, can you go back and play that one more time? Because Ari McDonald, she took so much on her shoulders. And Edwin, look at this. So she's with double team. Now you got people open. You got to get rid of it. You got to trust your teammates. Yeah, you got to trust your teammates. And she tried to put so much on her show. She had a couple games. Thanks, Daniel. She had a couple games of over 30 points in the tournament. On the season, I believe, averaged over 20. I think it was 24 games or something like that. I mean, just phenomenal career. Some of the things.
Hey, Rick.
Yeah.
I want her because she was willing to take the shot.
Yeah. And I get that. She wanted to put it on her show. She had a tough game. I mean, obviously they were game planning around her. She was 5 of 21 from the field, so forcing a lot of stuff. But I'm gonna tell you what, that young lady can play. Anyway, going back real quickly, I want to play Daniel. If you can cue up the Adia Barnes, give me a second. Don't play it yet. So Adia, after they beat Connecticut, she's in the huddle, Edwin, and for choice words, you know how it is when you're the underdog. So she's like, bleep, 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 everybody. Nobody thought we was going to bleep them, and puts a middle finger up. Okay, why is that new? So now it goes viral, and she's got to make a statement. Edwin, if that was a man, it happens all the time. It ain't in the news.
Well,
come on, man.
Hey, Rick, you got some of them out there that's always looking for something now.
It just
and some of what they're finding is inappropriate. All right, but when you going out in there, you talking about the heat of the battle. Yeah,
come on, man. But you know how it is, man. When everybody's against you, you know how. I mean, that's you're pumping your team up. You're like, hey, nobody. So So anyway, she go and man, I'm like, thank you, Adia, because she talks about, but she said, I ain't apologizing. Yeah, you go ahead and play the cup real quick.
Just myself. I don't really think of there is no strategy to it. There isn't no plan to be a certain way. It's just I just do what I feel, I guess. I'm just myself. I don't really think of there is no strategy to it. There isn't no plan to be a certain way. It's just I just do what I feel.
Can you let it play all the way through, or is that the whole cut? I thought there was about 40 seconds.
You can't hear it, Rick.
Oh, okay. Well, don't worry about it. So anyway, point being is that Adia, she didn't apologize, and I don't blame her. She shouldn't apologize. It shouldn't even be an issue.
She's getting her Warriors ready to go to war.
Exactly. They had one more game, and there was.
Be careful and don't say that.
There is no.
Here we go.
Hey.
There isn't no plan to be a certain way. It's just I just do what I feel, I guess, which is good and bad, because you saw at the end of the game, I honestly had a moment with my team, and I thought it was like a more intimate huddle. And I said to my team something that I truly felt, and I know they felt, and it just appeared different on TV, but I'm not apologizing for it because I don't feel like I need to apologize. It's what I felt with my team at the moment. And I wouldn't take it back. We've gone to war together. We look around the room.
Hey, yeah, that word.
Each other. So I'm in those moments, and that's how I am. So I don't apologize for doing that, but I'm just me, and I have to just be me.
Amen. Hats off. Adia, I mean, we know Adia. She's been around. She was, on the board up at the Rainier Vista Boys and Girls Club. Did a lot of stuff in the community. So I mean, I just wanted to acknowledge her. Say congratulations. She took that team, man. But I mean, she rallied those women together, man. And they
Rick,
went to war.
Let me tell you why I like her, Rick. You know what my daughter's name is?
What was that?
Rainier Bailey.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Hey, right now, some of the stuff she say, she don't take none of it ever.
Yeah.
And she shouldn't take it back. She was getting her soldiers ready to run up against fixed bayonets.
There you go.
The knives are up there, and I'm telling you to charge.
Yeah.
And so she had to use the choice language. She didn't say nothing disgusting. Derogatory.
No. Yeah. I mean, but it's after a big win, and she's saying, I mean, you know how it is. You're saying, okay, everybody was against us, and guess what? We went, everybody else, we in this together. So, hey, man, we only got a couple minutes left. So real quickly, let's talk about our player of the game. And then also we got some games coming up I want to talk about this weekend. But, and again, we pick a player of the week, and the player of the week gets a $20 gift certificate to the Emerald City Fish. Danny, what is it? Why am I drawing a blank, man? Oh my God!
Hey, you have been hitting the head too many times. I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out who I picked for the Belly Bumper Award.
Okay, the Emerald City Fish and Chips. No, I think it was so. We selected from the Lincoln Franklin game, and you can go ahead and run the touchdown runs of Newberger. And this young man, I'm going to tell you what, we were so impressed with him, James Newberger from Lincoln. And one of the things that impressed us so is that he had a way of just being patient when he was running. And so anyway, we want to just say congratulations to him of the games that we covered last week. He is our player, of the week. He'll get a $20.
He's showing some poise out there, Evan.
Sophomore.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Look at that. Look at that.
And a handoff, and that is James Newberger. And Newberger's got some room.
Oh!
Two tacklers off to the races. He could go all the way.
That was a good cut.
What happened? Why did he get cut off? We have some problems there, but that's okay. That's okay. Anyway, so congratulations to him. And I think you were talking about the Lincoln offensive line as well, the belly bumper. Was that your belly bumper?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. They just
Hey, big old fellas, man. Big old fellas and grind. And grind. Yeah. They grind like nothing else.
Yeah, they did a job. And hey, Edwin, real quickly, we got about a minute or so here. I just want to let people know. So the 5-week shortened season concluded this past weekend.
Sophomore.
Yes.
But coming up, here we go. Are we playing again?
Look at that. Look at that.
And a handoff, and that is James Newberger. And Newberger's got some room.
Oh!
Two tacklers off to the races. He could go all the way. He could go.
Touchdown. Good run.
James.
So there it is.
So
congratulations to him.
I can't stand it.
I know. And one last thing I want to say before we go, and then I'm going to have people stay tuned for Lid Line. But coming up this weekend on Friday, we got a couple of games, a doubleheader here, 4 o'clock, O'Day and Eastside Catholic. And, yeah. Now, O'Day, I mean, it's been a tough season, but I tell you what, that's going to be the game to watch. And that's followed by at 7 o'clock, Roosevelt and Garfield. And hopefully, Coach Witherspoon, I got to check in with him because remember, they took a beating at the hands of O'Day, but they had 11 guys out, 6 starters on the offensive defensive line. And so those games this Friday, O'Day, Eastside Catholic, 4 o'clock, and Roosevelt, Garfield, 7 o'clock right here on Rainier Avenue Radio. Yep, there you go. You see it. And so make sure to tune in, and you can watch it on our Facebook Live, YouTube or Twitch, and obviously listen to it. We'll have it for you right here on Rainier.
I gotta come there straight from work.
Yeah, you and me both, man. Hey, that will do it for us. Lid Line is up next until next week, or I should say until Friday. We'll see you then, and then next Monday, Edwin and me right back here for Monday Night Sports on Rainier Avenue Radio. Until then, peace and God bless.
Rick DuPree,
Edwin Bailey.
Brother.
This is Paul Pearson, host of Star Time. And when I'm not helping bad girls set up their websites, I'm listening to Rainier